now all of a sudden?
He doesn't.
Oh, he don't? There we go. Okay, good. We back to the old days. We found somebody does not like Kyle Busch.
Yes, and what did Earnhardt tell Jeff Gordon back in the day? Earnhardt said, when they start booing you, it's good. When they stop, it's bad. They only because who could not like Jimmy Johnson, right? There's people out there that didn't like Jimmy Johnson, and the only reason anybody didn't like Jimmy Johnson was because he won every damn thing.
And he was too nice.
Yeah, too nice. It's like, oh, I don't like ice cream. I don't like puppy dogs. I don't like pizza.
Johnny on a roll today. You're awesome.
Well, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Hey, Jose, I got to get this off my chest. I heard this the last 2 days with those 2 races yesterday. Is Atlanta your new favorite racetrack? What's the guy's? I want to know the guy's name that designed this new layout. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think it was Kenna Wallace, wasn't it?
Not me, but we got to interview this person, Jose. Did you see?
Let's make it happen.
Did you see? Okay, 3 wide, the most exciting finish in NASCAR history last year, and that's saying a lot, because we had Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven at Darlington, but that 3 wide. Oh, we got a Kyle Busch fan here, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
But my point is, Johnny and Jose, this place is packed again. Is it because of the new layout? What is it?
I think they like it. And you know what? The drivers are having fun with it as well. And speaking of which, I think we should welcome up our first guest to the stage for NASCAR Trackside Live. What do you think? Are you guys ready for the show? Come on, let me hear you. All the way in the back. Are you guys ready for NASCAR Trackside Live? Woo! All right, let's bring him up. Driver of the number 99. He's your amigo, my amigo, Daniel Suarez.
You look good, buddy. You look good.
Come on. Show some spicy love.
Spicy love. I love it.
Come on back, man. Join us over here.
We got to have a discussion, buddy. We got to sit
Look at
down.
this. We're bellying up to the bar, guys,
Relax.
early. We're just like you.
Oh,
Hey, there is a chance that we can move this to the sun. Freezing my ass off.
I almost took my jacket off, and then I come up here, and I'm like, I'm freezing up here.
Julia told me this morning, she said, Daniel, you're going to be cold with that hoodie. And I said, I got this. I don't think I was right. It was nice inside the motorhome. I can tell you that.
See, they're smart out there, Daniel.
Yeah, they're looking at the fans. They're in the right spot.
But what a beautiful day for racing. What an absolutely gorgeous day.
Yeah, it is. I'm excited. I have a promise that I made to Daniel, and this was last year. All right, the 3 wide finish, the closest finish in NASCAR history.
And
Daniel, before the race, I interviewed him. I said, if you win, I will bring tacos to Victory Lane. And
Where's
then
this
he
going?
won, and I didn't have tacos. I was like, what am I doing? So, Daniel, if you would look underneath the bar.
I saw it.
Bring it up here. Bring them on up. I got a couple little things for you here.
Carne asada or trompo?
Trompo, yeah. Al pastor. Look at this. I promise. Come on. Give it up for my man and his finish. Daniel, that was that moment like getting to stand in victory lane here at Atlanta.
It was definitely fun. It was a tense race. I'm sure that you guys enjoy it because there was not that's the beautiful. It doesn't matter if it's the front, the middle, or the back. There is action and something going on everywhere, and there is no place to hide. No place to hide. So I enjoyed this racetrack a lot. Honestly, I believe that the second Atlanta from last year, the first one that we won, I should have won that race, and I finished second, which is not good. It's not fun. Yeah. But I think that as a team, we're getting better and better in these kind of racetracks and being more consistent and putting ourselves in position. I did a lot of work during the week to continue to just to be good, because I always tell people one thing is to get there, and another different level is to maintain your level, and maintain your performance in a strong fashion. So we have put a lot of work in our race car. We didn't qualify well. We qualified 29, but we were expecting that. Our car is going to drive well, and we're going to drive to the front.
Love it. That's awesome. I'm excited to watch.
So, Daniel, when you guys come out here to a racetrack like this, I think a lot of people say, uh-oh, you qualified back in the pack. But you have to strike a balance, don't you, between speed and handling at a racetrack like this? And also, if you're going to start near the back, this is probably one of the better places to do it.
Unless you're a Ford. those guys, somehow those guys, they handle very well, and they're super fast. I think 9 out of the top 10 are, hey, take care of my tacos, please.
You're hungry.
Yeah, those guys are, I don't know what they got going on, but they're extremely fast. But it's funny because last night I was having dinner in a restaurant, and I saw Adam Stevens, the crew chief in the 20 from Jockey Racing, and I was leaving. And he said, "Hey man, we're back there with you. We go to the front together." And I said, "I guess you guys finally figured out what is the way to do it. We have to put some handling into a race car." So, I think there is a lot of people that is actually, understanding what we need. The racetrack is getting older, is losing grip, is getting more character, with the bumps. At the same time, today is like 15 degrees colder than last time that we were here, a year ago. So, all these things play a huge factor into the decisions that we have to make into putting downforce, putting a speed to our car. So, at the end of the day, it's a gamble. Nobody really knows what exactly we need, and whatever we have today, that's what we got. We have to figure it out. So, hopefully, we can put a few Chevys together and drive to the front.
I've asked him this question before, but we got a whole new crowd here, and I think I asked you this at Bristol. Leave it up to me to ask the different questions, so that I'm coming to you in a different way. I was in Europe, and I can't speak any Italian, but here you are from Mexico, and you're just talking. I'm not that smart. You're smart. How in the world are you able to be bilingual? I mean, that's amazing. How did you learn this?
It's very cool that you mentioned that because I think that it's everything about the situations that life presents to yourself. I say to people, I speak 2.5 languages. I speak Spanish and English, and I can understand Portuguese.
Oh, wow, because of your wife?
Because she... Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, you say, oh, I'm not smart enough. But really, Kenny, it's not about being smart. It's about the situation that life presents to you. You know how many languages my wife, Julia, speaks? 5.
That's
5
unbelievable.
languages. And it's everything about where you live. She lives in all these different parts of Europe, in Brazil, in Miami, which most people in Miami, I don't know if you guys know, but they speak Spanish. So she learned Spanish there.
He's laughing, not me, okay? Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah, so really is how life presents to you. And I remember back in 2011 and 12, I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to accomplish my dream of being a Cup Series driver because I couldn't communicate. And I didn't want that to be the factor. I didn't want that to be the difference. So I had to work very hard to try to learn the language, and here I am.
I admire you. That's a compliment. Good job.
Thank you.
It is. It's something else. And this guy also does broadcast, too. He does race broadcasting, too, which is incredible.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, he's been up in the booth.
Yeah, he's in the booth.
He puts on the suit and tie. Like, it's amazing.
I have done. If you were telling me 10 years ago that I was going to be calling an Xfinity race or a truck race, I was going to tell you, get out of here, man. No way. I just want to tell my crew chief, tight or loose. That's all I want.
Hey, so Daniel, your race team has gone about things a different way. It's got to be really refreshing to be part of something with your boss and your culture around your race team, where you guys think outside the box. You think differently, and it certainly made for some great results.
You know, I think that that's why I have enjoyed my time in Trackhouse so much, because, you know, as a Mexican racing driver, I think that sometimes I think that it's good to think outside the box. And maybe I'm a little bit biased, you know, because obviously I come from Mexico and I speak Spanish, and you know, I have all my fans with a sombrero. Look at the charrito.
Oh, look at this.
All right.
I love it.
With a taco hat over there. Like, I just like...
Taco head. I love you. You look good.
I like these things, you know. I think that these are my people. Is my culture. So I like to think outside the box. And since I sat down with Justin Marks, you know, a while back, and I got his vision and everything, I thought it was very interesting, the way that he was approaching things. And then obviously Pitbull came into a table, and I said, man, this is going to be super cool. You know, the first driver-owner combination Latinos. I think that's super cool. So it's been an amazing journey, and I'm looking forward to continue this for years to come.
And we get to go to Mexico this year.
That's our team.
You went there.
Yeah. And here's the deal: is my family, my dad grew up in Coyoacán, which is a neighborhood 15 minutes away from the racetrack in Mexico City. So
you know, I'm having such a hard time, Jose, I'm actually going to, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I'm actually going to Mexico next week for a big thing that you guys are going to be very excited about. But listen, I'm having such a hard time doing all this work, because the race in Mexico City is in June, so we're still several months away. But there is a lot of planning, a lot of work, a lot of things that are happening, production things, and I'm having, you know, it's almost like this kid waiting for that moment, but at the same time, I have so many important moments in my racing stuff. Like today, for example, I have an amazing opportunity to win the race. So, you know, it's almost like, you know, trying to divide the Mexico City race and every single race. You know, next week is Cota, one of my favorite racetracks. So I feel like it's amazing, man. I'm super excited. I'm super blessed, very grateful for this 2025. I think it's going to be one of the best years of my life.
I'm so excited for it. Thank you.
Can I make a compliment?
Yeah, one final thought.
You know, I'm a man of compliments. This is your time to shine. You're born and raised in Mexico. No matter what happens on that racetrack, they're going to ask a lot out of you, and you just got to step up to the game, because it's your country. So you got this. And when you get in that race car, it all goes out. My favorite thing about racing is when I got in that race car.
You're alone, right?
Goodbye, everybody. So you got this.
You know, and the part people always ask me, like, hey, Daniel, how are you gonna manage all this? Because there is a lot of people that is gonna be, you know, they're gonna want a little part of you, and they're gonna want this, they're gonna want that. And I said, listen, all I want is to be present, to enjoy the moment. I'm sure we're gonna be racing in Mexico City for years to come, but the first time of the Cup Series going outside of the United States for a points race is going to happen only once, and that's going to happen this year. So I just want to enjoy the moment, be present, and when it's time to race, just remind myself why I'm here. You know, I'm racing race cars, not because of the fame, not because of the money, not because of any of that, because I love racing. And that's what I want. I want to see in that thing and just remind myself how I got to that point, and I think that's going to be the main thing.
I love it. That is so awesome. Daniel, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Fans, how about it? A big round of applause for Daniel Suarez. So many exciting things going on. We've still got lots of guests joining us here on NASCAR Trackside Live. So as Daniel takes off, let's go ahead and welcome up our next guest, all right? Driver of the number 38. He's in the Ford. Let's give it up for Zane Smith.
Zane, look at you, man. Damn, you look good. Zane the legend. Damn, man, you've been getting it done.
How are you? Thanks.
We're real good.
We even left you a taco.
Yeah.
We like to be hospitable here.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, Jose's over there. He's usually the one that starts this off.
You got this, Kenny. Come on, man. You got.
So, listen, it was like 2 years ago. I'm watching Zane win the championship, win a race in the truck series, you're getting it done, and it's like you just skip the Xfinity and straight to Cup. I mean, that's a boatload of talent. How were you able to skip the Xfinity series and come right to Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll see it more and more often. Now, it's laid out now is a little bit different than what it used to be. You kind of had to go through Xfinity to prepare you for the Cup car. Right now, the Xfinity car doesn't really drive anything like the Cup car, so it's an odd way, I feel like, how you get to Cup. And actually, if you look way back, I kind of went to Xfinity first. I ran 8 Xfinity races for JRM, and then got a truck opportunity and stayed in trucks for about 4 years. So a little bit of a different way to get to Cup, but don't matter how you get there.
It's a good
as
point.
long as you stay there.
Yeah.
So, Zane, when you look at this season so far for you, the idea is to get noticed. They said your name a lot during the Daytona 500, during the big show. And now here we are again, qualified in the top 10, 7th place qualifier here, guys. Not too shabby when it comes to a difficult racetrack. But it's got to make for a good buzz for you and your race team right now to be showing up, to be talked about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously FRM brings some incredible speed to super speedway type tracks, and Daytona, I went out I think 3rd, and waited to the very last car, watched all the qualifying, then was happy to make the final round yesterday, and not worry about it. I was like counting the cars left. I'm like, all right, we made it this week. So yeah, that was super exciting. That's something I kind of have circled on, just improve my qualifying efforts. It matters so much. Just it's insane.
Zane.
That used to be my
That's your nickname, baby.
That used to be my nickname. Yeah. It was on the back of my helmet when I used to race BMX, and unfortunately I grew out of that, but now Kenny has just brought it back.
Hey, by
Insane in a good way.
the way, I got to give a shout out to everybody watching all over America, especially in Farmington, Missouri. There is a kid named Zane Smith.
Oh, dang, okay.
And he loves you. And
Oh,
so
man.
anyway, Zane in Farmington, Missouri.
What's up?
Here's the real Zane Smith. And I told him I would do that because he called me.
I love it,
He's
man.
like 7
What's
years
up?
old.
Yeah, you don't meet too many Zanes, so anytime you do, it's a special day.
And only a couple insane Zanes.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I think we should I like that. Kenny's brought back Insane Zane. All
Hey,
right.
as long as they're talking about you.
Yeah.
Well, talk a little bit about your background, because, again, we've talked about this before, but Huntington Beach, California kid, BMX racing, etc. What is that like coming into the sport of NASCAR and bringing some of those experiences with you?
Yeah, I mean, man, I don't know if we have enough time to tell my whole story, but I started out racing BMX bikes in Huntington Beach, California when I was
awesome.
about 3 years old, and then I raced those till I was about 7, and then I got into karting. I grew up just being around racing. My dad was actually a fabricator for an off-road race team, so just had been around it. And people have often asked me, man, what would you do if you didn't race? And I'd probably be jobless, or I just kind of always had all my eggs in one basket of trying to make it in this sport somehow, some way. So after karting, got into legend cars. And then got into late models, ARCA, Xfinity truck, and has somehow made my way to Cup. So it's incredible, insanely lucky to be here. But yeah, I mean, not too many people I feel like come from California, and I don't know. I would be so excited to see the race at Auto Club. Obviously, that's not around anymore. The Long Beach Grand Prix, which I think would be so cool to bring NASCAR to, but
Be tight.
it would be. But hey, we
I
make
ran
sure,
that course.
Yeah, we make
Raced in the
Chicago
LA
work.
Around the
Coliseum.
aquarium.
They can do it.
Yeah. Hey, I think it'd be cool though in SoCal race, and like I said, we make Chicago work, so we should be able to make that work.
So, Zane, there's probably a couple hundred guys every weekend that are out there playing pro ball somewhere of one. And when you get all the stick and ball sports together, there's probably 1,000. There's 39 of you guys out there. When you got the call, not only to be a full-time Cup driver, but at a quality team as well, what did that feel like for you? Like you said, that was the only thing you wanted to do, but you made it, man. You crossed into that group, that very exclusive group.
Yeah, I mean, you'll never forget your first phone call and your first opportunity to go race in the Cup Series. In 2022, Buscher in the 17. I think I start alongside of him today, so it's crazy just how things go in full circle. But I think I was like picking up dog poop or something, and I see Brad Keselowski's calling me.
We all eat dirt. Everybody eat dirt.
And everybody's got a scoop. If you got a dog, you got to do it.
And I had gotten a call from Brad, and obviously answered it immediately. And he just kind of came out with it and saying if Chris wasn't able to race this weekend, if I'd want to fill in for him. And before I could even think about it, I just said yeah. And then obviously just had to figure out all the logistics. There was so much to that. He had actually had a big wreck at, I think it was the Coke 600 the week before. And I got fitted actually in the car that he flipped. So like the dash and everything is like busted out of this thing.
Oh man.
And I'm not calling him like a big guy, but like me and Chris Busch are way different in size. And so
Chris is a big guy.
Yeah,
we can say that. Yeah.
He from Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, he could definitely. Yeah.
Right. He's a big.
Yeah. So. I think I did like the bottom or top half of like Brad, and then like something else of another insert that they had. But anyways, made it work. A weekend I'll never forget. And fortunate for FRM to allow me to have that opportunity. And then obviously last year went through many ups and downs, and I found myself back at FRM, and it's special. It's awesome seeing a lot of familiar faces that really I look at as just family. We've had so much success. Some incredible memories and
Question, but I got to observe a couple things. What is it about us race car drivers? Seat fitting, where you're in this strange car and like, and it's funny that you went to that. For everybody watching on TV, I want to let you know. And I thought it was because Dale Jr. was over there, but actually it was a carnival ride, and they were scared to death is what it was. Everybody's like looking, and it's this big old carnival ride going around in circles. Ah! Okay, yesterday you hauled ass. You ran 5th in the truck race, yes?
No, I didn't race.
It's
the
another
truck race.
Smith.
Probably.
Oh my
that
God,
was Chandler Smith. That is now my teammate.
Okay,
and
this is
also
funny
because
I'm rooting Zane on the whole damn race.
Yeah.
Well,
You ran
Chandler
really
appreciates
good.
it.
I think I was like across the street eating like a Pizookie at BJ's in Daytona, and Chandler's like leading the truck race, and I'm getting all these tweets of like, "Come on, Zane."
Okay,
I'm
it's
like,
not just me.
It's not me.
Well, you know, you're sitting there watching on national TV, and it's like Smith, and you've been there your whole life. So that is wild that you did get those. So that's been going on now. They see that you got to tell the people on TV, we got to call Fox. It needs to be the initials up there.
Yeah.
C.
C.
Smith.
100%.
Smith,
And actually, before I get away from this because this is just weird right here. So obviously, Chandler and I, both in a 38, both our dads.
Okay, that's it too.
Both our dads are named Mike Smith. And I have, like, pretty much all my siblings start with a T, and so do all of his siblings.
No way.
And his middle sister, I think, is named Tess, and so is mine. So I thought that was, like, the weirdest thing I've ever...
Jose, I felt like a fool for about 10 seconds.
That's all right.
But now he says
Everybody
no.
else did the
Everybody
same
else
thing.
do the same thing. That's incredible.
Yeah. actually met his family up in the suite here.
Hey, good run in that truck race. I didn't run it.
It was the other.
I'll take it.
That's awesome.
I want to ask you about City of Refuge. And you got that on the Ford this weekend on the hat. Tell us a little bit about that and that partnership that you've got.
Yeah, it's incredible. I ran this car last year. Having City of Refuge is just simply incredible. Man, they do so much for Atlanta, just for people simply in need, and they've just had an incredibly rough past, and just helps them get back on their feet, show them what quality of life can be, and just provides so much. So Bruce will be out here today. Brent Layton is involved. He's going to be out here today. So just it's always fun having something local on your car as well, and hopefully something for people to pull for.
Zane, what did you learn about yourself, your team, and a driver? You guys came so close on a couple of occasions to winning that Truck Series championship, and I think a lot of people don't quite understand how badly a race team and a driver wants that, and how disappointing it really can be. But you gotta pack it up and go on to the next year and try it again, and the perseverance paid off for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's created some incredible stories. Obviously, I had some incredible opportunity at GMS Racing at the time in the 21 truck, and just it's so hard to make it to the Final Four. So it's quite the accomplishment as a whole team to get there. But then when you don't execute and win the championship, it's just a bummer. And for us, I felt like dominated the race both years in a row, and then just something happened towards the end and finished second in it. And then the second year really hurt because I didn't know what was next for me. And so stood in that parking lot not knowing what was next for me. And then had the opportunity with FRM. Didn't know what to expect. I was going from like a 5-truck team to like a 1-truck team. Just a way different dynamic. And so anyways, we fired off our year with a win at Daytona, and it was one of the most fun years of racing I've ever had. And made our way back to the Final Four and ultimately won the race and won the championship. And pretty much 365 days later, I was sitting in the parking lot all bummed out to blasting "We Are the Champions" in a rental car with my whole team headed to the after party.
Yeah, what a great story. And, you know, my ass was on the couch watching all those battles. You know, I never saw myself enjoying racing, but to this day, your championship races are burnt into my mind because they come into side by side, you know, that Phoenix track and all that drama. Okay, so let's come to this track right now. It seems like the big story in racing right now is this is one of the new favorite tracks because both races yesterday were unbelievable.
Yep.
So does this track scare you at all, like Daytona and Talladega? I mean, I've never run this one, so I want to know this. How do you compare this, like, scary rate here compared to Daytona and Talladega?
Yeah, I mean, it's some similarities, but so much different. I remember right when it was being repaved, all the talk around of like, man, why are we doing that?
The drivers said it was horrible.
Yeah, but literally the track was coming apart. Like we were getting, I think the last race we had here, people were getting some serious damage from huge chunks of the racetrack coming up. So I think it was time for a change, and it's been awesome to see the amount of fans that have showed up and appreciated the change. And so I remember the very first year, it was insanely high grip until it wasn't, and it was really like a super speedway. Just everything happened 10 times faster, and you just had to react so much faster, and you really kind of appreciate the straightaways on a regular
so
super
you could
speedway.
rest. Oh, yeah.
And so there is just none of that here. And then once we come back later in the year, and every year we come back, we're like, man, it's definitely lost grip. And you're like kind of talking around the garage, and I'm like, man, thank God it's not only me that feels this way. And so that's what also brings a new excitement is like every year we know some bumps are going to come about. The track is aging, and it creates us to make our cars better, put some downforce in them, versus just kind of the super speedway style racing. So I think you're going to see some of that today. Obviously, some really cold temperatures. Handling is going to be a very important thing. So, and so is track position, because track position equals downforce. And so I think you're going to see aggressive racing, and one heck of a show. Hopefully we put it on for you.
So, Zane, final thought. Describe the racing that we're going to see today at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and then we'll let you go. We're going to have an awesome continue on the show here. So, Zane, one word.
Chaotic.
Chaotic.
Oh.
Missed opportunity there.
So far we've had Todd Gilliland said intense, and you said chaotic. We need to write.
All right,
it down.
I got it. I'll write these down.
Intense and chaotic so far.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Obviously, probably won't be quite as chaotic if you stay up towards the front, but at some point
I've seen them wreck up front.
Yeah, they often do.
Well, Zane, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. Fans, if you would, please, a big round of applause. He's driving the 38, Zane Smith. Come on. Thank you so much, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you.
I like those jackets. Has everybody been noticing those jackets those crew members have been wearing? I got to get them jackets. Get me a jacket.
I bet we know somebody that can get you one.
Who get me a jacket?
All right.
Hey guys, let's not forget something about this racetrack and how cool it is.
We're ready for our next guest.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get that.
But one thought. Make it quick.
Top 3 finishes in electronic scoring history in NASCAR happened here 2 decades ago.
Wow. And they have
love
always
coming
been
back.
incredible.
Bringing the heat. I love it. Johnny's always got the facts. Let's go ahead and bring him up on the stage. Our next guest joining us here. Please welcome Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Welcome in. Man, and got the new Hayek Motorsports hoodie on. I love it. It looks
Are
great.
we back here or up there?
No, right there.
Right there.
Yeah, because we're
here.
gonna talk a long time.
Yeah. Now, Kenny, you like Zane Smith's jacket. I like Ricky's hoodie.
I know.
Yeah.
That looks sharp.
That is
It's
pretty
chilly
damn
out
cool.
here.
Well, okay. See, we're not crazy, everybody. You go out there and it's tolerable. You come here, and the wind
Cold.
gets it going. It's shady.
I think that means we are crazy.
They don't have heaters under here, in case y'all were wondering.
Yeah, where they at?
do not.
Where they at? No, I wish we had them.
How's it going?
Ricky's going good. It's got to be going good for you. You've won in this discipline before.
Oh,
Well,
you're controversial. I love it.
but
You'll have that.
Yeah, I
you've
love it.
won in the super speedway is a place where you excel. You've won in this discipline before. What did you think when they said, "Hey, we're going to take a super speedway package to an intermediate racetrack"? What was your thoughts on that, and how was it very welcome to you, saying, "Give me another shot at this"?
Yeah, I mean, I think, back when Kenny and I were racing against each other,
Early
I
1800s.
didn't really like the super speedways that much. I like the 1.5 mile racetracks and the short tracks. But no, in my Cup Series career, we've obviously had more success on the getting to victory lane in the super speedways, and I honestly didn't know what to think about it. I think all of us were kind of scratching our heads a little bit, but I think now over time, Atlanta's a really fun racetrack to run, and I heard Zane talking a little bit about the racetrack kind of aging and sliding around. The fall race here, or the second race last year, was one of the most fun races I've ran, and coming up through the field, the tires are hot, the track was hot then, a little chillier today, so you probably won't get as much sliding around, but at first I had no idea what to think about it, but now it's pretty fun.
I want to talk about Hayek Motorsports. So we have this transition now in the NASCAR Cup Series with names of teams. And back in the day, it was like a family name, right? And then it was like, all right, we're going to do Legacy Motor Club. We're going to do these kind of cool sounding names. So talk about Hayek Motorsports, the name, and I think it sounds cool. Like, I like it.
Yeah, Gordon Smith, our owner, is, he's had businesses for a very long time, and, he just carried that business name over, to our race team. And, it's something different. Gordon's been involved with, this race team for many years before I ever got here. And so now he's just more of the sole principal owner, and, switched the name up. And we still got all the great people. Mike Kelly's still my crew chief. We hired some new people on the competition side. Our competition to get a little bit better, and looking forward to showcasing what we have. And we got a great new partner on this weekend, Martin's Famous Potato Rolls, and so it's a bright yellow car. You definitely will see it out there. So looking forward to giving them a good run. First time for them in the sport. Their owners down here flew in today, and So it's cool. It's cool to bring new people into the sport.
Okay, I'm goofy, so let me see. Can I see your watch? I don't have that one on. No, what that one though? That's a good one. I like. Can I show? Look? We're on TV all over the world. You got a nice wedding ring.
Yep.
Tell me about this bracelet right here.
Some little girl fan gave me this in the fan zone last week, so
cool.
I still got it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's where that one came from.
Okay, so I know all the fans are waiting to hear this, and they all put me up to it. Okay, so they're already laughing. All right, and you're waiting for it. Okay, so I listened to Joey Logano's interview with Bob Pockrass, or the media. I listened to your interview. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I feel like you both got to a situation where when you were done, everybody was packing you guys in the rear and kind of spinning y'all out. Okay, there everybody is.
There they all are.
These are our new group of people, Rick. Poor guy been talking about it for 7 days. All right.
Yeah, everybody on social media told me exactly what I should have done. Which is part of it. No, Joey and I talked actually earlier yesterday, and I think for me, we all do all this, studying tape, and
when
Daytona,
it's over.
No, well, going into Daytona. So watching the 500 from 24, we took the lead going into one, got to the back stretch. I didn't make a block, and then all of a sudden I got hung 3 wide in the middle, and I ended up 28th, and then I got in the next wreck that happened. So I told myself if I get up towards the front, within 15 to go, I was going to make some blocks to make sure I kept myself in that position to have a shot to win. And, we were in the top lane. I was waiting for Joey to go to the middle because I knew he was going to. And so I followed him down there. Late block, got it done. And then when I drifted high, I was looking to see where the 0-1 was. He thought I was going back to the top, so he throttled up, shot the middle. I squeezed him, and then, I think he went down, and he ended up getting into Kyle, got back into me. So you make decisions so fast. And we both, I felt like, just made a wrong decision at the same time, which resulted in a
Thank you for the
crash.
show. It was awesome. You guys raced
I
your
didn't
ass
have
off.
fun after that.
No. And Johnny, that's the way it is, right? We watch it. It's world news. Look at this highlight reel. But here's my point. You both were going to win the Daytona 500. And that's what I mean. You said, I don't want to fall back to 28th again like the year before.
Yeah, and then going into the Daytona 500 next year, I'll watch this race, and I'll be like, maybe I won't do that. So, it just happens so fast, and, I think, for both of us, I think his team, he told me when we were talking, his team was like, there was 15 to go. Like, why didn't you? I think Denny on his podcast said, there was 15 laps to go, live to fight another day. Well, I did that last year, and I ended up in the back. So, it's easy to watch when you start looking at the overhead angles. And I'm like, man, what'd I do that for? Why'd that driver do that? It's very easy to do that after the fact, but hopefully we won't have that today.
Yeah. So, Ricky, before the internet and before social media, before we had all this, we just had TV, and almost everybody got on TV 20, 30 years ago after a Daytona 500 and said, man, we're just wrecking cars. I don't like this. We have to do something about this. But mostly it was drivers, because sometimes what's bad for the drivers is good for the fans. But what is your take on the style of racing? Are you of the school of thought that something needs to change on these big tracks, or are we going in the right direction with that discipline of racing?
I don't really know if anything needs to change. I mean, like you said, since I've been watching, there's been a lot of wrecks at super speedways. The closer people run together, when something happens, somebody makes a mistake, calamity happens. So, I think for me, personally, I just wish that we were going faster. I think we've slowed them down a little too much.
Sprint car racer. Wing sprint car racer.
I think we've slowed them down too much.
Yeah.
And I think there's things that we could do to make it a little bit more difficult to drive so that you aren't running wide open all the time, and you do have to make a decision. Like, again, I said when Kenny and I were racing, 2010 we ran the new style cars.
We were asshole and elbows.
Yeah. when we ran that new style car at Daytona in 2010, the old track.
Yep.
I mean, there was nobody running wide open around there after 10 or 12 laps, and that was fun. I mean, that was more of a product of the old worn-out asphalt, how rough it was. But Atlanta's getting there, and I think that's what's making it fun.
Yeah.
So, Ricky, we've been asking drivers today one word to describe the racing that we're going to see today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So you've got one word to describe what fans are going to see today.
You probably heard the last one.
I did good.
I'm going to go with wild.
Wild.
Okay, that's so far, it's intense, chaotic and wild. We writing them down?
I'm writing them down right here. I got them.
It is. I mean, it's, especially, this first stage, we can make it on gas. Nobody's going to be saving fuel. And so there's a lot of us, I feel like a lot of good drafting guys at the back of this field that want to go forward. And I think after about 40 laps on tires, you're going to be able to kind of move around a little bit more.
God.
And so hopefully that happens. But it'll be a show for sure.
Yeah. Do good, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Do good. So
thank y'all.
Dirt. What do we have in common? We're dirt racers. So, all right. Do good.
Thank y'all.
Ricky, thanks, brother. Go get him, man. Good luck. Be safe.
Fans, one more time, a big round of applause for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So Kyle Busch is coming up here in just a moment. Also, stick around. We have Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top is going to be here on this stage. So get on in nice and close.
Every girl crazy about a short-dressed man. Oh, yeah, look at that,
brother. Okay, here's our fun fact about ZZ Top. Guys, ready for a fun fact?
I like fun facts.
The only dude in ZZ Top who doesn't have a big old beard is the drummer. Coincidentally, his last name is Beard.
How did they work
Johnny,
that out?
I love you. That's badass.
That's all I got for you.
Well, we
got us a ZZ Top beard right here.
Right here.
Hey, can you show everybody on TV? Look, here he is. Coffee with Kenny.
Oh, wow.
I love
the Coffee
it.
with Kenny shirt.
I had a couple. You know what? When we left St. Louis this morning and got in that little SR-22, my dear friend, he's got a nice little airplane, and I thought, I can't have any coffee because I have to pee. So when I got here, I was like, I need coffee.
And you've had your coffee now. You're good to go.
I don't think Kenny needs coffee, but that's debatable.
Yeah, my new one is. I told everybody earlier. I said, we used to say we jacked up on Mountain Dew from the movie, right? What was that? Talladega Nights?
Yeah, Talladega Nights.
Yeah. Well, now that I watch Dale Jr. all the time, Kannapolis is Sundrop country. So now I say I'm jacked up on Sundrop.
So, Kenny, I want to talk a little bit about what we were talking about backstage earlier, and that this start to the 2025 season seems to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. What are your thoughts on what the fans are seeing, what the drivers are experiencing as we go into this season now?
So, there's no doubt that our highlight in NASCAR was 2006, Dale Jr. The Dale Jr. up on Sundrop, but I feel like there's been so much hardship. Our fan base has fell massively, but I just I think of Mark Martin last year. Mark Martin said, "This is the best racing I've seen in years," and he's right. And I just feel like we started at Bowman Gray.
Yep.
And Johnny, the weather was good. We're in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. In what, February was it?
Yeah.
And it was good, and the race was incredible. So you had a track where Ryan Blaney came from last to second. Then you go to Daytona, you get a little rain delay, but every race has got in. We got sun today. And complain as much as we want. We're our own worst enemies. But you look at every single race so far this year, everybody at the end of the race is like, that's hard to do.
And our president, NASCAR, I honestly believe this guy's not just as a NASCAR fan, But I honestly believe that NASCAR, of the major league sports in this day and age, has the best management going on. Because really, in some of these big stick and ball sports, the management just says, y'all go play, and they let everything take care of itself. NASCAR has the challenge of keeping 40 drivers and team owners happy, and the fans, one of the most demanding fan bases there is. And when you're able to put that together, Steve Phelps, our president, said a few years ago that he honestly believed the best years of NASCAR are in front of us, not behind us, and I firmly believe that as well. Do you guys?
Okay, I want to say something else too, because this is what I'm made of. I'm not a NASCAR shill. Nobody pays me any money from NASCAR. I say what I think. But like Brother Rusty says, he goes, Herman, when you talk, he says, you take that knife and you just put it right. I don't draw blood. I don't draw blood. And listen, like Dale Jr. said before on Dirty Mo, there's been time that NASCAR gave us that eye. They've been pissed at us. I think this is the best year ever. I'm not promoting. I'm a dirt racer. I race dirt cars. What are you doing that dirt car for?
Why are you running that dirt car? But
I believe it. I see it. I'm at the edge of my seat on these races. I stayed on my couch both races yesterday.
You stood on your couch, like standing up on your
Oh,
couch.
I didn't know if Kyle Busch was going to be able to hold on to that lead. Weren't you all like, oh my God, he lost. No, he's going to win.
Yeah,
it was
guys,
insane.
17 one-thousandths of a second was the margin of victory in the truck race yesterday. 17, yeah. Well, and he did because, and I don't think, I can't wait to get an opportunity to ask Kyle this because a lot of people say, oh, well, duh, Kyle Busch won the truck race.
Those guys are good.
It's not that easy. It's not a guarantee just because you're Kyle Busch that you're going to win one of these things.
They're good racers. Just because they're not in Cup doesn't mean they're not good.
Stuart Friesen is a fantastic racer.
He wins everything.
And he held off, and Kyle Busch held him off, and there gets a push from Bailey Curry to put the whole thing together. This is not a guarantee that Kyle's going to go there and win a truck race. He has to show talent.
And you know what's wild about this front straightaway, everybody? When you're in the stands, remember that front straightaway is a dog leg. So if you just go straight, you end up running that guy in the grass. I've run this front straightaway a handful of times. If you want to go down the straightaway, you got to do like this. If you want to go down the straightaway, you got to go like this, and you got to go like this. Well, they go straight, and that runs that guy into the grass. And, they said that Kyle side drafted yesterday. Stuart Friesen was running him into the grass. Kyle pulls away from him, and, Jed's a millionaire. He wins that damn race. That front straightaway, Jose, makes a lot of good finishes.
It really does. It makes for great racing out here. I want to talk about some of the stars of the sport now, too, because we look at 2025. We now have a lot of younger drivers coming up into the Cup cars. We just talked to one, Zane Smith.
Yeah.
Who are some of the rising stars that you're looking at, and you guys are going, this is a person to watch?
Johnny, we listen here. We have breaking news in the garage area, and that's why Jose brought it up 1 hour ago. Stewart Haas Racing just signed Corey Heim, and that is to battle Hendrick getting Corey Day. Okay, so a lot of you might not know this kid named Corey Day. He's a phenomenon, and Kyle Larson said, Mr. Rick, if you don't get Corey Day, we're going to lose. Corey Day, one of the most incredible young race car drivers in our era. He's going to be coming. It's like, I never heard about him. And Kyle Larson said, oh, you will. So that's my message to all of you. You never heard of Corey Day? Oh, you will.
You will. And you'll also hear a lot from Corey Heim as well. Now, back in the early 1800s when me and Kenny started working together, remember there was something called driver development. Everybody had a dude at a race team that was responsible for driver development. At Hendrick, it was Andy Papa. There was a guy at Ganassi. All they were doing was going out there and scouting talent. But then driver development turned into whose daddy has the most cash. That was what driver development came, and you guys all know that. That's
He
what it
said
became.
it.
Now we have turned it back around again to where you're looking at some of these guys. Kyle Larson did not come with a fistful of dollars. Carl Edwards did not come with a fistful of dollars. We're looking at now the opportunity. Now, I'm going to say, if there's a really good kid out there, and he does come with a lot of money, he's going straight to the top. Or she. Yes. But you got to have the talent, too. Your coin and your name. You still have to wheel the car.
Oh, you know what? And your Kyle Busch jacket made me think about this. My buddy Eddie Balkovic that's watching right now. Hello, Eddie.
Dr. Mike Robe.
Eddie said, Herman, why don't you talk about this new deal that's coming along? And I said, well, tell me about it. Keelan Harvick, and how about the little Bush kid? Brexton. So now we got, well, don't holler at me. Are you my wife? Wave to everybody. Turn around. So we got Braxton Bush, who's pretty young, and we got Keelan, and they're already giving Keelan awards against grown men.
Yeah, well, again, guys, let's remember, just because your last name was Earnhardt didn't mean you're going to be a great race car driver. There were other people with the last name Earnhardt that did not rise to the top like Dale Jr. did. And I know people wanted to get on Danica Patrick. Her looks may have gotten her the start, but it did not drive the race car for her. She was still talented enough to get out there. And if you don't believe it takes talent to get out there and drive a race car, these guys are different than us. It ain't like our passenger cars. These guys can do something that we can't, because if we could do it, we'd be out there doing it.
Okay, hold on, Johnny. We don't have Winty Venturini. So you wanted something to say just now. I just want to know, hey, bring your hot rod up here. What did you say?
I said Keelan beat Kevin in the late model
When was that? Where was that at?
a couple weeks ago.
Huh.
I'll be damned. Keelan outrun the old man. She's saying that Keelan Harvick. Now this is a Busch lady. I love it. She's smart. She's a racer. Thank you. Hold on. What is your name?
I can't even talk anymore. Sydney.
Sydney. Are you wanted by the police because you're trying to hide?
She's a race car driver. Got the big sunglasses on. That's what
I love
it is.
you. You're awesome. Thank you for adding to the show. Thank you, baby. So you're saying, I'm going to tell you one thing I've learned, guys. You got to watch these 12-year-old kids. These 12-year-old kids, they will kick your ass. You be a grown man thinking, I'm a man. I'll kick that kid's ass. And that little squirrel, he'll get a 12-year-old car. He'll get in that go-kart, and he'll be gone. And that's the way they're raising them nowadays. They're putting them in there at 5 years.
Zane Smith about, guys. There's 1,000 people that are out there this weekend making a paycheck for playing some type of ball, some type of game. There's only 39 that made this race at the cup level. That is a small group of people. So if you're out there looking and saying, well, this guy, his last name's Bush, he's going to be the next great thing, let's hope so. I would hope so. But, man, things have to come together. You have to have the opportunity. And like Tony Stewart sat here on one of these stages and told us, Tony looked at us and says, man, there's hundreds of better drivers than me. And I said, no way, dude. You're one of the greatest of all time. He said, yes, I got my shot. I got my opportunity.
Look what I see walking this way.
What do you see?
I'm excited. Every girl
Are you crazy about a sharp dress man?
Old Billy gonna say, quit singing my song.
So I want to ask this other question about the development of drivers as they're coming up, Kenny, because I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Is we now have drivers that are winning that started out playing video games.
Oh,
William Byron, yeah, got
that's
his
all
star
they
on
do
video
now.
games.
Yeah, I mean, I used to make fun of it, but I'm convinced now, for all of us old guys, I think those video games, they keep you like this, you know? And when you're old like us, we're like, the video game kids are like this.
Kenny
They're
had
ready.
Atari Pong.
I did.
And Space Invaders.
Hey, remember that? Dong.
Waka, 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 waka. Pac-Man.
Dong. It's like, hold on here, let me put my beer down.
We had
Dong.
Pac-Man and Space Invaders.
Dong.
Now they got an absolute replica of Daytona with the bumps in your chair.
Johnny, they're saying that the video games are now a tuning device for these drivers. You know, it is incredible. It's awesome. It really is. Plus, they like video games.
I know, that's right. And it has something to do, I'm sure, with the hand-eye coordination, too, and helping them, you know, do this, and see everything. I don't know. It's amazing, though. It's amazing to watch. So, your picks for the race today, real quick, and then we'll bring up our guest here in just a second. But, so, Johnny, what do you think? Who would you pick?
My pick is the only Chevrolet driver that qualified in the top 10, Kyle Busch. And that's not just because he...
I love that you picked that right away as he's walking up here.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on, welcome Kyle Busch.
That is not a coincidence.
Hey guys, how's it going? All right.
Pull up a chair, Kyle.
Yeah.
Join us here.
All right.
So Kyle, Jose just asked us to make a prediction for the race. And I said, my pick is the only Chevrolet driver to qualify in the top 10. None other than Kyle. And I didn't know you were here. I did not know you were here. I was not sucking up. But then again, Kyle, you were involved in that finish. You were close here before. But, man, you're off to a great start this weekend.
Yeah, no, it's gone well. You know, we've had some really cool stuff here lately, and the restrictor plate stuff with RCR is obviously fast. You watched last night's race, too. And, you know, winning the truck race yesterday was awesome, being able to get back to victory lane, you know, and doing it in trucks at Atlanta, you know, it just feels like home with Billy Ballou and all of that sort of stuff for the years that we've had success here. But certainly, you know, we remember that that finish here last year and how much it stung to just be flag. So, you know, want to be able to change that this time around and carry our friends from Cheddar's to victory lane.
Damn. Kyle, I mean to tell you, I watch I was in that truck with you. One hell of a win. Congratulations. I think one question I have is you would get past, you would follow them, and then you said, I'm going to pass them now, and you slide up. What were some of the techniques? Put us all in that truck with you. What were some of those techniques? How did you know when you went past, you would clear them, kind of like slide jobs?
Yeah. I didn't
school.
know if I was going to clear them. I just wanted to make sure. Once I tried it the first time, I felt like, okay, I've got a pretty good idea of how I can keep doing this, you know. And the last time going into one, I wasn't planning on clearing the outside, taking the white flag. You know, I was just like, I need to get down, get into the bottom, and control a lane. Whichever lane you can be in control of is obviously going to give you the best chance to be able to win the race. So we come off of turn 2, and Honey cut behind me. He gave me a big push down the back and kept us side by side to kind of race it out to the line. And, you know, mightily impressed with the truckers being able to finish under green. And I doubt the Cup guys will know how to do that. So we'll have to go through a few restarts at the end of this one. But, you know, it's just a part of knowing who you're around. And it felt a little bit more late 2000s, early 2010, you know, drafting techniques and things like that where you could do some of those moves. And so, you know, I was just kind of used to that, you know, like that form.
Kyle, you know, a lot of people would look at that and say, okay, here's a 2-time Cup champion, a truck, of course he's going to win. It's not that easy. Eric Almirola made a good point. He said, okay, you put a Cup regular driver in a Joe Gibbs Toyota, and he's just automatically going to win. It's not automatic, especially with the competition level these days. These are tough to win.
Well, not at Speedway races either. You know, there's probably, you go to a Speedway race today, there's going to be 30 legit cars that have a chance to go for the win, you know. You go to a normal race like Vegas in a couple weeks or whatever, and you're probably going to have a legit 10 that have a shot to win, you know. So it definitely changes with the racetracks that you're at, obviously the cars that you're at or in, and sometimes it's manufacturer-based as well, too. You look at the road courses, and you already favor the road course guys, right? You favor Shane, you favor AJ, and seeing those guys, you know you're going to have to race them for the win.
Kyle, I have a question to ask. Given the trophy away in victory lane yesterday in the truck race, there was this cheers of which we are now hearing those cheers for Kyle Busch. What does that feel like for you, from the boos to the cheers? Do you just like it when people make noise for you?
I like noise. Noise is good. Yeah. So somebody else once said noise is a great thing. So, you know, obviously, yeah, it's cool. When I got out of that truck, I was like, wait, what? I was like, I just won a truck race.
Me
like,
too. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. But it felt good. You know, I haven't won a lot in a while, you know. I've been limited on my starts of being able to go to victory lane, and the Cup stuff hasn't quite worked out as well as we wanted. You know, we missed a few opportunities, like probably 3 stick out that we could have, should have won last year. One of those being Atlanta, another one Kansas, and well, now it doesn't stick out. So that's 2. So, but when you're in more positions every single week to be able to score wins, then you will be able to pick up those wins. So we're just not in those positions enough. But I feel like we have a good shot here today. So looking forward to it.
I read a press release from your race team a couple of weeks ago. Let me see if I get this right. My comrades tell me I'm right. Is your Cup car sold out as far as sponsorship the rest of the year?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so in an era where we got to have so many sponsors, I mean, it speaks very, very highly of you that you're still the man.
True. Thank you. I will take Kenny's credit. I will take Kenny's credit.
But you have said to me, he has said this to me before, and he says, oh, you're just happy all the time. I'm like, I can be a prick.
We all can be. That's right. But I got to give kudos to the team at RCR, the sales staff and those guys and girls that are behind the scenes that work all of that stuff. They do a tremendous job of being able to sell better than other teams.
And there's a lot to that. That's a technique.
Yeah. But, Kyle, you know, it just goes to show that this game is difficult. You got Richard Childress, who has been around for so long. No one works harder than Richard. The guys that are involved in that team that have been there for a long time, it just goes to show, and even with a championship driver, you can be off by such a little amount these days, and it results in a winless season.
Oh, it's crazy. I think back to Nashville. Nashville, before the rain came last year, 30th. Like, I could not pass the car in front of me. And then we come in after the rain delay. We're talking about it. We talk about a couple things. This on pit road, and I'm like, that's a change we can make. And they go, yeah, we're gonna do this. We come down pit road. We make that change. Boom. We can pass cars. We're going forward. We're running 4th towards the end of the race with a shot to win. It's just little things that can make such huge differences in lap time with these cars. It's so crazy now how close you think you are, but yet how far you in reality are away from being able to be the best car. So, you know, it's just nuts to me. But, you know, I feel like there was a greater window back. The driver could actually make up some of that, where now it's like for me, when I try to drive harder to make up like what I used to be able to do, I slip over the edge and I'm crashed. You know what I mean? Like, these cars are just so damn finicky drive that you know, it can certainly make your days really good or really bad.
So final question for you. We'll let you go, but
it's
thank
already
you.
over?
I know.
I ran long on the last one, so sorry, Kenny. I'm not.
But we do thank you for joining us
Yeah.
on Trackside Live. One word to describe the racing that the fans are going to see today at Atlanta. One word. Exciting.
Exciting.
Exciting. I like that.
I mean, either that or exhilarating
We've had
or
4
awesome.
drivers, 4 different days. Awesome.
Yeah.
Intense, chaotic, wild, and you just said exciting.
Exciting.
Okay,
I
yeah.
love it.
I mean,
I love it.
put it on a shirt and sell it now.
Hey, you know, you're not the last. We got somebody coming up just behind you that is unbelievably famous.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to listen to Billy Gibbons with ZZ Top is coming up in a minute.
Oh,
so,
that a boy. There you
yeah,
go. Right on.
yeah. You go off this side, you get
Well,
to look
you guys
at
are
him.
going to be in store for a great show today. So whether it's right here or whether it's out there, be ready. Let's go.
I love it. Kyle, thank you so much. Fans, a big round of applause for Kyle Rowdy Busch. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to close out our opening season of NASCAR Trackside Live with one of the most famous famous guest we've ever had on this stage. He's an inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know him, you love him. From ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons!
Hi, baby! Man, look at you. You believe I'm in front of legendary presence.
I got shiny just for you.
You look good. Billy, you want to sit down right there?
Yeah, come on up here.
Thank
Join
you
us.
so much for being here.
We're bellying up to the bar here for you.
I know.
Brother.
We got to set it up for you.
Yeah.
So Billy, I think you have an impressive career, all the things you've done, all the things you've been involved in, but I love your car collection, and I would be remiss to not ask you the question of, you got Cadzilla, you got Slam Pala, you got the Eliminator. If you could pick one car from your collection to take a lap around Atlanta Motor Speedway, which one?
If I had to pick one car from the collection, it'd be any of them that I get to drive. Normally, those pretty girls in the video, they always get the keys. I just want to drive one.
Just let me have the keys.
Billy, you guys are still hard at it, right? You're going out touring again and seeing the fans and still going strong.
Starting next week, come on out. We'll have a good time.
I saw something that I have to comment on. I get some little notes. It says right here, Billy's acting career squeezed in between recording sessions. So you're an actor, and you Bones was hits. They know about it. So tell me about this acting. Has it been fun?
Yeah, Bones, I got to be the main dad.
They're right.
And just recently did a walk-on. There's another Netflix series called American Primeval.
Yeah.
But the big thing was I received a phone call from Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, he's a badass. He weird, ain't he? He
It's a
different.
great show. Landman.
I've been a pal from years back with Billy Bob. Started off as a drummer. A lot of folks don't know he started off as a drummer. He had a ZZ Top copy band called Tres Hombres. And I said, well, do you know what Tres Hombres means? He goes, well, it's Spanish. I said, yeah, Tres Hombres, three gentlemen.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he had 6 guys in his band. So.
Yeah, had to get rid of 3, didn't you?
But he called me up and he said, I'm on this new series called Landman. They do it. Do you think you could write something in a rock and roll vein for us? And I said, yeah. Can you give me an idea? He said, yeah, just give me a second. Well, about an hour went by, and my phone, I got a ping on the phone, and there was no message. It was just a picture of an oil well on fire. I called him up. I said, yeah. I said, I've got this picture of an oil well on fire. He said, yeah, that's the idea. I want you to write a song that sounds like this looks.
That's wild.
Okay, thanks.
That's so
That's
cool.
a tough job.
Well, somebody else that started out as a drummer was you. And I don't think most people know this, but you were a Latin percussionist. I know your dad was in a band, and you learned to play congas, timbales from Tito Puente. And I was doing some research, and I was
He's
like,
Spanish.
I play congas. So I was like, well, no way, Billy Gibbons. And it makes a lot of sense with some of your solo albums, some of the songs that you guys play. I love that Latin flavor that you bring to music.
Have the folks stick around, and we'll have a little. I'll get maracas, you get the conga.
Yes, I love it.
Bongos.
Okay.
He's a good drummer. He's good. Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Billy, look here. This has got to be an honor for you. You're going down to the Delta Blue Museum April 9th. They're going to talk about how badass you are. Are you looking forward to that?
I can back that up.
Yeah, I think this is pretty awesome. And you've done so much for rock and roll and music. So what's going to go on down there? It looks like you're going to be at the Delta Blue Museum located at the legendary Crossroads in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Do you know anything about that yet?
Yes, years ago we were able to salvage a piece of wood that had been dislodged from the cabin that Muddy Waters grew up in.
Oh, wow.
We took this piece of wood and we chopped it up and made a guitar out of it called the Muddy Wood, and that started the Delta Blues Museum.
I'll be damned.
So it's cool.
You know, I know some of the guys from Aerosmith because we race up in Loudon, New Hampshire, and Brad Whitford, the acoustic player. And my mom got to talking to him, and it shocked me that, I mean, it really did start with the blues, didn't it? I mean, how did you get into music? Well, I mean, I listened to that. That was what kind of music did you start listening to?
Everything my parents hated.
Right. Rebel.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Everybody's been there.
Yeah. Well, you're going to make a great Grand Marshal. Played at NASCAR tracks, but today, special Grand Marshal. Are you excited to get out there and get to see the fans and be a part of the experience?
And we're here to join everybody that we all share a same fascination, and we're magnetically drawn to things fast and loud.
Yeah. Hey, and I just want to say on behalf of the people that grew up in my era, your songs were the background for so much of our life, for so much of our growing up. They're so iconic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Fans, if you would, how about it one more time, a big round of applause for our Grand Marshal today for the Ambetter Health 400, Billy Gibbons. Come on, give it up.
How about that, race fans? It don't get any better than that. Listen, thank you, everybody across America. We are now live streamed to Facebook, YouTube.
Hey, guys,
X.
we got an auction coming up for Speedway Children's Charities. If you want to hang around, there's some great items to bid on, and it's for a wonderful cause. So hang out for a little bit with us, and if you want to, we'll meet you over there and sign your stuff, too.
Fans, thank you for tuning in to our first episode of the season. Come back. We'll be at Circuit of the Americas next week with NASCAR Trackside Live.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Be safe.